Hi everyone, and thanks once again for clicking onto Mike and Trisha Out and About. In our last two episodes, we've travelled down the UK and through the Channel Tunnel to start our adventure in France. We are now in a camping car park at Le Mont de Saint-Michel for our third park up, while at the same time we're settling into our new van. I'm just heading off on my morning walk with Kira now. This is definitely the biggest camping car park that we've been to so far. Well, we've only been to 3. We've got a lot of more experience to come. But this one is big. There's spaces here for about 180 motorhomes. So obviously that's quite a lot. But there's not many of them in at the moment. Maybe half a dozen or so motorhomes. It looks like the facilities in there are really good. There's a recycling point. You just have to be careful and make sure that you pick the right one. But they're all well labelled. And I do like that these sites have all got barriers, so you feel quite secure when you're in there. Right, I think this is as far as I'm going to go. Quite a nice little village by the looks of it, but there's really not a lot here. It's geared towards tourism, so we're just going to head back. It's the reason we've come to this camping car park, to visit the Mont de Saint-Michel, and we've been planning it last night, and it's time to set off. Anyway, we've thought that the best thing for us to do today is take a packed lunch, because online everyone's saying that it's really expensive to buy things when you get there. So Trisha's just making us up a wee packed lunch at the moment.
I'll make myself a wrappie and I'll make you a sandwich.
It's a fair old blustery day as we head off, so we've wrapped up warm. The walk to the Mont is along the river Quénon, and it's a great day for the seabirds, and Kira certainly doesn't mind about the weather as long as the ball's coming out. It sure is thirsty work though. It's not easy being a professional ball chaser. There's several farm animals to see on the way, but none of them seem to be quite real. This bull has his eyes on the cows in the neighbouring field. As we walk along, I'm intrigued by these ball shapes in the trees, and at first I think it's birds' nests. But then on closer inspection I realise no, it's actually mistletoe. We're heading over to see the bridge, but it's actually a dam that was commissioned in May 2009. The purpose of the dam is to regulate the water levels, and the hydraulics push the sediment out to sea and away from the Mont. You enjoying this little boardwalk?
It's very nice. It's a bit hazy though.
I know, it's taken us quite a bit longer than I thought it was going to, but well, we decided not to get the bus, didn't we?
We did, because you're not allowed to take Kira on the shuttle bus. She has to be, dogs are allowed in a basket.
What a shame, she's not really a kind of dog in a basket kind of girl, is she?
No, she's not. She's like chicken in a basket, but not dog in a basket.
No, she's more, where's the ball, I want to go for a wee run kind of girl.
Yeah, she is.
We're not been too lucky with the weather, but well, this is what we've got. We don't really want to be coming back. It's a kind of a one-time opportunity when you're doing a little bit of a tour around like this. You go somewhere and that's it. You just take what you get in terms of the weather. We've arrived at the Mont, and as soon as we're inside, we seek shelter in a little cafe. How's your crepe?
Looks good. Taste test. You cut it. Lovely.
Kira, you want to chew? There you go. We have our sandwiches, and there's some crumbs left over for the spuggies. That's what we call sparrows in Scotland. And there's a pecking order here as those little spuggies line up one at a time to have their fills from some of the crumbs that are left over. After lunch, we head off to explore the village that would lead us up to the abbey. The very first buildings in the village were for families supporting the construction in the 11th century. In the early 20th century, several old and poorly maintained buildings were falling into ruin. They were replaced by new buildings constructed in the Norman and Gothic revival styles, but these were replaced between 1928 and 1938 to restore the historical nature of the village. Nowadays it's all shops, pubs and restaurants catering for tourists, but maintains the character of a bygone age. And it does have its own parish church, which is immaculately maintained. From here the abbey looks like a castle in the sky, and we start making our way up towards it. We know that dogs are not allowed, and I'll be doing the abbey on my own, but we make our way up the stairs together because Tricia wants to see the views from the top. It's €13 to get in, and I've got my ticket, so I head up the stairs, and then more stairs, and yet more stairs, until finally I reach the top. The legend tells that the history of the Mont Saint-Michel began in 708 after the Archangel Michael appeared to the Bishop Aubert 3 times in a dream. Saint-Michel asked him to build a sanctuary in his honour on an island called Montum. When the Benedictine monks settled down here in 1023, construction of the Romanesque abbey church began, and the Mont became an essential place for pilgrimage in the entire Christian West and a major centre of culture during the Middle Ages. In the 14th and 15th centuries, it became necessary to protect Mont Saint-Michel with a series of military constructions, but during the English siege, part of the abbey collapsed and was built in the Gothic style. Following the French Revolution, the monks had to abandon the abbey, which was to become a state prison for 14,000 prisoners, where tides and quicksand made escape impossible. When the prison closed its doors for good in 1863, the abbey was totally dilapidated. From that moment on, restoration work was launched, and the area around Mont Saint-Michel was developed to receive the first tourists in its history. In 1979, UNESCO added Mont Saint-Michel and its bay to its list of World Heritage Sites. Here you go.
Thank you.
Some of that cider that we got from that Super U yesterday. Super U, wasn't it?
Hyper U.
A Hyper U, that was it. And I managed to stock up with wine, a couple of bottles of wine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Huge selection of wines in that Hyper U. I'm glad we went there. It's quite a good place. And we managed to get a washing done as well, actually, didn't we?
Yes, that was really good.
That was a big old load.
Yep, it was.
How much did that machine take?
20 kilos.
20 kilos. It was about €12.
€12 for a wash and €2 every 15 minutes for the dryer. But I was quite fortunate that somebody had already put €2 in, so I got half an hour on my €2.
You got a cheapie.
I got a cheapie, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was a grand day out today, wasn't it?
It was a very grand day out.
I really enjoyed it, even though there was a heck of a lot of steps to do. Getting there and then up through the old village and right the way up to the abbey and round the abbey. A lot of steps. It was a shame Kira couldn't come in.
Yeah, so Kira wasn't allowed into the abbey or on the shuttle bus. So we both walked all the way there. And Mike went into the abbey, and then I just had a wee wander around and a wee cappuccino. And then met Mike.
Did you miss me?
And then coming back, well, I decided my knees are a wee bit sore, so I got the shuttle bus which takes you back to the tourist information. And then Mike met me there, and then we walked all the way back to the van again.
Yeah, so it was a fair old hike for both of us.
Yes.
We'll sleep well tonight, won't we?
I won't need rocking to sleep.
And we're going to do some planning as well. We quite fancied moving inland, so we're going to stick to doing some of these, more of these camping car parks, aren't we?
Yeah, I really like these because on the app it tells you how many spaces are available. You can book if you want.
Yeah.
But this time of year it's not too bad. But they're very good sites. They're very clean, very spacious park up space.
Yeah.
So I like them.
I think as well, there's barriers, and once you're parked up, you feel quite safe that you can leave the van for the day and just go away.
Yes.
Like what we've done today, going to the Mont. It's been great. You can park up and you don't really need to worry about, is the van going to be okay? You know it's going to be safe and secure, and you can have a couple of days here and just leave the van. And
I think you can park up to 21 days out of 30.
Yeah.
which is really good if you want to stake somewhere.
Yeah,
You
so
just have to park up and you don't even need to keep booking it, you just sit there.
we think we're probably going to go inland a little bit now, aren't we?
Inland, and then we're going to head south.
Maybe chase the weather a wee bit, eh?
Yeah, because when I looked, Marseille had 18 degrees, which
Aye.
would be nice.
Well, we'll have some of that. Right, okay. Cheers then.
Cheers.
See you in the next one, folks.
Cheers.
Ta-da.